here is number 10. This is where they had the Civil War Memorial meetings for the veterans.
They plow that in the winter?
I don't think they do. One end of it on the other side gets plowed because people live there, but I don't think this side does. They plow the fishing access, but I don't think they plow the road that goes out around it. Although they might, Keith, because of fire. Although the place doesn't have electricity. I don't think they told me that they use in the winter. And this is number 10.
This one's smaller over here now.
Yeah. But I think that there's water that connects the two, but they're two separate ponds.
This is where they got the lake trout in here, don't they?
Yes, this is where they found the Civil War cannonballs a number of years ago, like probably in the 80s. Will Jennison was one of the divers that found those.
Yeah, he's on the fire department dive team in Johnson.
Yeah, some of them were active too.
Some ice fishermen out there.
Yeah.
Fishing away.
So this is Callus. Like the line was back there, like past the Four Corners this way, but this is considered Callus. And that's the Memorial Hall up there. You and I have been out there before.
Yeah, we went out there last summer. We were out through there.
There's eagles on this pond too, a separate pair.
No, that's where they used to have the meetings, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From the Civil War vets.
Yeah.
Used to have it. I think I got that's in that book.
Yep, it talked about it. Grandpa's right up there. Well, there's a news clipping about the meeting.
Well, it's in the ledger that book that you gave back to me on the meetings, and it had the East Callus, I think, was listed as one of the meeting houses. It was in 18 something they were talking about it.
Yep. I think when they enlisted, that this is where they would come to gather, and then they went and got on a train and went somewheres to wherever they were going.
They actually went to Brattleboro.
Yes.
And that's where they got all the clothing and induction, and then they continued on after that to Washington to do drill. And that's where they ran away from the Confederates during their first battle.
Yeah, I mean, Washington is right there on Virginia. It's
Yeah.
like...
They thought it was going to be a cakewalk, and it ended up being a bloody battle, and all them dressed up ladies that were watching it got in their buggies and headed back towards the Washington.
It lasted years longer than they ever thought it would, right?
Oh, yeah.
How many years was the Civil War?
Well, I don't know, what was it, 1860 to 1864, something like that. At least 4 years.
Oh, metal bowl, the road running. This is Scribner's barn. They used to have barn dances here.
Yeah, I don't know if...
That's the Moscow Road. That's where the recycle station is that Keith goes to sometimes.
Yeah.
Is that dirt road that goes to Cowes.
I don't know if our great-great-grandfathers on my father's side actually went to the Civil War. They were here during that time period, so... But I don't know. I know on the Voices side they
Yeah,
were.
didn't they come here in 1864?
1860 something, so the war might have been just over.
I think it was 1864 when they came over.
And the boys' side, they got here in the 1700s, so...
Yeah, like 200 years later.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a long time.
150 maybe.
Well, Vermont wasn't even a state when the Voices came
It's a
over.
republic, right?
Actually, I think New York owned it. And then didn't New Hampshire own it for a while too?
Yeah, I think we fought with the Yorkers.
And then after a while, it was given its own name, own state. But I don't remember when it
Green
was.
Mountain State.
Yeah.
Ver is green and mountain.
I think it was John Brown who actually settled Johnson.
Wasn't he the anarchist? Was that John Brown?
Oh, wait a minute. No, it was a guy by the name of Samuel Johnson, and then he was captured by Indians and taken into Canada, and then this Brown ended up owning the land. The governor gave him Johnston's land. And the Indians finally released this Johnson, and it came back, and this Brown was actually owning most of Johnson at the time. So he filed a complaint about it because he was in captivity. And the governor ended up giving Brown some more land further north, and they ended up naming it Brownington.
Oh, yeah, up near Newport.
Yeah, that's how that all happened. Of course, I wasn't there to see it, but that's just the way the
That's the story we're being told.
That's the story we're being told. There could have been a whole lot of liquor involved and everything else. So
I'm sure there was. Probably wild women too.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is the Callis town hall.
Yeah, right over there.
Over there, yep. They restored that in the last few years. But look at it. There's nothing. It's like these little communities were just a few buildings.